Hello, everyone. It is a
Oh, hey there.
Thursday. I have a friend. My friend is here. Hello, friend. Wave at the audience on the
Hello,
internet.
friend. Hello. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, you will see. Full disclosure: there's a little bit of a choppiness because Elaine's. Well, this is my wonderful friend Elaine, who does wonderful, beautiful art online. Hi, Elaine. Go follow
Hi.
Elaine Ryan Art on Twitter because she does beautiful, beautiful things. But we're here and we're hoping that the internet stays stable enough that her beautiful face can continue to be seen.
There is a chance that I could just disappear off the face of this internet, this my 12 megabits per second internet.
Yeah, we feel
Oof.
sorry for you. We
It's
do.
all right.
It's all right. It's all right. But you are
It's
here.
all right. It's beautiful outside lately, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. You are
We managed.
fine. You are here. Life is good. Um, but Elaine is a beautiful, beautiful who does beautiful, beautiful art. And actually, where's my phone? Where'd I put my phone?
This is how much we've been chatting earlier before. There was no need for any kind of.
Okay, well, yeah, there was no need for it because otherwise, I would have just shown you my beautiful my background screen on my wallpaper, which is still one of my favorite pieces of character art of all time that Elaine did because Elaine is fabulous. Um,
I had a lot of fun designing her with you.
it was a lot of fun.
On top of it.
But wait, I can
Yeah.
pull that up. So, Elaine is going to be here. We're going to play. We're going to create a beautiful new. There we go. Beautiful
Southern.
new.
We're creating a home together.
We are creating
We
a new
we
house.
decided to start our lives together
Yes, and
in this world.
we
She's going to take care of it for me because she's the DM.
this is fair. And we're not gonna tell Devin that we're ignoring her and I'm stealing you from her.
No. There's more than enough of me.
This is true. This is just a joke. But if I can, I feel like we should, so that everyone knows exactly how great you are at art. I need to put a thing on the screen. Or I need to put this thing on the screen. Hi, everybody. In a second, you will see this beautiful work of art that's actually massive and is absolutely gorgeous. We'll put it over my face so that you can still see Elaine because she did
did
this
I
beautiful piece.
did I I think I probably sent you like the full size printout that could be 18 by 24, no problem.
Yeah, it is absolutely gorgeous and I love it. And it will eventually get printed out and put on that wall right there. That's the wall right there. But yes, this wonderful, beautiful, fabulous art was created by the wonderful, fabulous, beautiful person sitting right next to me. And we together are going to create a new NPC house to go in Carousel Court. Gonna lie, I kind of love it. It is Navadri is one of my favorite characters of all time, and the art done by. Um,
Oh gosh.
you are yes, yes, good stuff. Oh, but we are going to start. And so the way this works is you are going to roll stats for each of you're going to roll values for each of the 7 stats that go for this NPC house that we're those 7 stats are HOA rating, because what else is power in a subdivision post war but your HOA rating. Um,
Excuse me, you cannot plant that color of flower in front of your home. No.
that girl, that guide. Wow, I can't read. That great idea lost in a dream. That works. I can actually read things and I move them in such a way where I can see everything. No, 20s could be okay, but these, when I tell you how we roll these stats, you're gonna see how this works. So you're gonna roll, and this is why I gave you the roll 20, 8d6 minus 2d6 for each of every one of those 7 stats.
Mhm. Perfect.
So we're gonna start with that.
All right.
Yep. Need one.
So did you? I'm so sorry. Did you give me the Roll20 link?
I did. It didn't. It didn't.
It gave me the Twitter
It gave
link.
you the Twitter link, and instead of giving you the Roll20 link, let us try that
Mhm.
again. We'll fix it in post. It's fine.
Bam.
Bam.
Hey, you guys, let's just riff for a second. What kind of Southern Gothic dream home in an urban setting? We were making jokes earlier about how many times we could say that phrase, but I've already forgotten what the exact phrase is supposed to be. So,
Well, this game will be a Southern Gothic urban fantasy set in 1945, spanning the year 2000 in the city of Savannah, Georgia, in the subdivision of Carousel Court.
well, howdy there, y'all.
If you want the actual billing and realtor blurb, Carousel Court is a brand new subdivision built on the former lands of a small plantation on the edge of the city of Savannah. These homes are perfect for new families just starting out, for our boys coming home from the war and looking to start fresh, all within easy walking distance of the elementary school and the country club.
Well, howdy ho. Wouldn't that just be the sweetest little thing with some peach tea to just indulge and enjoy in? So I'm rolling 8d6 today, correct?
Slash R
I'm a little
8d6
Texan, apparently.
minus 2d6 for each
Bam.
one.
So for our first one, we're hitting on the 21.
21 HOA is not a bad start. It means that you are starting at the home. Your home is well kept, but the garden's nothing to write home about.
Well, I mean, we'll find out how big my family is, and then we'll understand if the gardens are just neglected or completely ignored.
But now, admittedly, this is just the beginning.
True.
Now we get to go to influence. How influential is your family? Or at the start of their history?
8d6 minus 2d6.
Yep, the nice thing is you can just hit the
Bam.
up button and it'll re-roll it for you. 16. The debutantes.
I'm an average lady in an average life. Look at all those ones. Shoot.
The debutantes talked about you once.
Amazing.
And then wealth.
23.
23.
I've got 23 in my monies. This is why the garden's fine.
You have a
but
lower
nothing to write home about.
lower middle class. You have a savings account. There's even some money in it, depending on the month.
For the next number, we get a 19.
For your people, which is you have a nuclear family, however you choose to define it. Then in your land, how much land y'all got?
My definition is, I hope we got a lot. Oh, 18. So probably not.
18.
I'm rolling a lot of ones. Roll20 has not been my friend as of late.
18. Your house is small, but you own it, and the land it sits on free and clear.
Brilliant.
At least at the start.
And on.
But what's your reputation?
It's a 16.
A 16? Oh, it's my second favorite reputation on this. 16 reputation. Bless their hearts. Your family's historical scandals still influence opinions, but your attempts to overcome have been noted.
That's so cute. Oh, bless her heart. Exactly. Couldn't handle Sadie just being a little tyrant. And the next one is 17. I got an extra bad minus out of that roll. With an 11 minus out of my total.
Yeah, if you had not rolled so well. Like, actually, in the last two rolls were really, really good negative portions.
But then
like, you would have been okay. 17 in magic is... Certain generations have magic, but never large expression. We'll come back to that, because that is just where your family begins, as it begins its history. Now, we needed to find out exactly how old this family is. How long has it been around? How many events has it been seen and shaped by? I need you to roll me
Well,
3d6 plus 1. Excuse me, 3d6 plus 1.
and we're gonna get an 11.
11. So your family goes back to 1776. When I decided to do this, you have the family history is based on the number of events that you get, but I did not want to take into account all of human history because that just felt a lot, like a lot.
Fair enough. Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to have, because this game is set in Savannah, I didn't want to have, say, history began at contact between.
Yep.
That did not seem to make sense to me or feel like a good idea. So the arbitrary starting point was 1000 BC, and then, or 1000 CE, not 1000 BC, 1000 CE. And then each of the historical points that I picked after that are based on events that would have influenced or been considered influential around what will be the city of Savannah, Georgia, throughout history. So yes, then contact and colonization became a big thing because thing to influence this area. But your family history, this family's history, begins in 1776 in the American War for Independence. However, I would also like to note, we do have one other thing we have to do. I need you to roll 7d6. And just give me the values for the individual die.
We have a 6, a 2, a 5, 3, 3, 3, 4. Did you win the Powerball today? No, I'm kidding.
No, I didn't. Did you? Did you buy your Powerball?
No.
$481 million? I'm not gonna lie. If I won the Powerball, I wouldn't turn it down.
I wouldn't be sad about it.
What happens is after we go through all the historical events, those bonus die you'll be able to allot where you think they mathematically would. But
all right.
So I guess the first question before we get into no, we need to start the fun part.
Ooh.
So now that we know the number of historical events, we need to determine what kind of historical events they are. So I need you to just roll. We're going to roll 3d6.
Oops. My 3d6 are a 6, 6, and a 3.
What's the total value? Sorry.
15.
15. Treachery. The first historical event that you get is treachery.
Bless her heart.
And what that means is that you will add 1d6 to your HOA rating, but you're going to lose 1d6 to your influence and your reputation.
Oh.
This is why things get really interesting.
So should I roll 3d6 individually then?
Yeah, because and then just give me the values for the first one.
All right. So for my HOA increase is 3. My influence is removed by 4, which I don't have a lot of. So, oh shit. And then the third one is 8. Or sorry, it's 1.
1. So you only lost 1 to your reputation.
Yes.
But you're lifting up that power. Am I quiet for anybody else? There we go. Okay. I am quiet for you. Okay, so that's upsetting. Let me figure out why that's a thing. Is that better, everybody?
And let me know if I'm too loud, because I am eating my microphone. Yum,
it's
yum,
okay.
yum.
I mean, like, I had changed things or had to move things because settings were complicated, but I can fix that. There we go. Is that better for everybody? I think that's as loud as I can get it to go at the moment. But
Can you hear me now?
yeah. Okay, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. All right, sounds fine. That's good.
I full on admit I'm not logged on to Twitch, so I can't read the chat because apparently I need to reset my password again.
Look, did you clear your cache or something?
Oh, I clear my cache every single time I close my browser.
Okay, you're a little bit. I've never done it that way, but good for you.
Oh, that's what. No, I have it set up. I have like a computer cleaner that just
Cleans things. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's my CC cleaner because this is an older computer.
And you want to? Oh yeah, that does make sense.
It affects my performance. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So next event in the year 1789. 3d6. What happened next? Y'all started with treachery, and
all right, we'll start. I just couldn't help it. You know, I was set up to marry that good into that good family, but it's not where my love lied. Let's marry treachery. Broke hearts. So I rolled a 8 for the next.
that's a
setting.
doom.
Ooh, treachery and doom. This is why we have no money.
Oh, it's gonna get worse. Doom means you lose 2d6 to every single stat.
Oh. And I got a 7. I got a 6 and a 1.
Okay, so 7 is the first one. What's the next one?
Heart.
We gotta do this 6 more times.
All right. My next one is 7.
A 7. Oof.
And my next one is 7. And my next one is 6.
Oof.
My next one is 5. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here's the and my next one is 6.
And you've got one
I didn't
more.
have a lot of points to begin with.
You got one more.
All right. 9.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey y'all, we are in single digits for 3 of the stats of this house. We will see where this goes, everybody. I am not rooting for you to get super low scores, but it'd be exciting to not have the worst slot in the neighborhood. I mean, PB. So PB is one of the players in this game, and she rolled. I think she rolled Doom twice.
Ooh.
And they ended up super cursed. Like the family ended up super cursed.
Sometimes rolling poorly can just create really fun storytelling.
Oh, it's really fun storytelling. It's just super cursed.
It's just super cursed.
All right. 1820, 3d6.
All right. 13. I got a 6, 6, and a 1.
So this is one of the most fun rolls. This is what we call a capricious or eccentric ruler.
Ooh.
And what this does is gives you each value is increased by 6 and minus 2d6 to give you a very swingy value intentionally.
Oh, fun. Okay. So I'm going to roll.
Here, I'll put it in the
76.
No, it's this. I'll put it in the Zoom chat for you. You can roll that 7 times. /R 6 minus 2d6 7 times. Is
-1.
Okay.
-1.
Okay.
-4. Ooh. 0.
Mm-hmm.
-5. Oh, man. 1.
Hey, it was a positive.
Whoa. Oh. And -2. And I think one more.
Nope, that's it.
All right.
That's it. All right.
I got 1 positive. I'm feeling pretty good about my house, y'all.
Your reputation went up a little bit. Lost a shit ton of land though. And some wealth.
Oh, I did. Well, now do I owe on my land? Because that just seems very millennial of me then.
If you are in, where are you on right now? You are in 8. If you are in 8 in land, that mortgage is high, but you can pay it.
Oh, I've got it. It's fine. It's fine. You know what? I can't take care of my garden, but
oh yeah,
my house is overrun.
your HOA is you've moved up actually in HOA. Well, no, you shifted an HOA to I was wrong. I messed up the math. In 21, it was well kept, but that garden is nothing to write home about. Now you're at a 16. It's a little well loved, but that just adds character.
Oh, of course. I'm not going to power wash it though. Someone else can do that for me as a present.
Yeah, there's an entire group of people that will stream power washing from your house as a present.
Oh, you know what? Bless their hearts. I am open and willing for them to come and do whatever they need to do to make me not have to worry about a thing.
I support all of this. All right, 1861 to 1865, a slight unpleasantness. What was y'all's family doing? How was your family affected by this slight unpleasantness?
Well, let's find out. Am I rolling 3d6?
You are indeed, ma'am.
Well, shoot. I think I'm starting to get the hang of this a little bit. We're getting to an 11 for this one.
Well, 11 is beneficial. This is what we call
Oh,
infrastructure.
fantastic. Whoa. Impossible. I don't believe that I have had anything positive happen to this family.
Well, what you get is an infrastructure boost. So way we do this is roll 2d6 and just give me the values, and we'll put those to the side as a bonus dice, and then you can put them in on that row at the end when you determine where you think that will be the most beneficial.
All right, we're gonna get a 5 or a 3 and 2.
3, 2. All right. 1864, the not burning of the city of Savannah. While William Tecumseh Sherman is marching through Georgia, his underling, however, does come to the city of Savannah. He just don't burn it.
Perfect. I'm glad that he didn't take us down with him.
Not at the moment. All right. So what do we get? 3d6.
I didn't put in roll. Oh, shoot. Honey, we got 6.
Well, that's a defeat. That's minus 1d6 to everything except your reputation.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I do declare I appreciate a little bit of chaos in my family's life.
Oh, you have severe chaos. It's so you need a total of 66 that you're going to subtract.
Okay.
So first is 2. Minus
First is 2.
Yep.
Minus 2. And next one's going to be minus 1. All right, come on, roll poor. I'm going to be having minus 4.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a minus 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're going to have a minus 6.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna have another minus 4. I think that I'm about to have a 2 in land, if I do recall from writing anything down. But I think I just went from an 8 to a 2.
You did.
And then we have another minus 1. All right. All right.
You are at a 2 in land and a 3 in influence.
Well, shoot. It's not my fault if you won't scratch my back, all right? You understand? I got to work to try to make it so my house does not go
horribly. Luckily,
horribly. Fall into complete disrepair.
As PB says, you cannot go wholly negative. It will drop you to 0, and then it just kind of zeroes out, and then anything else will go up.
Oh, that's so nice. Thanks, player. Fuck.
1890 or 1893. How y'all doing then?
Let's find out with 3d6. 12. I can't stop the Texan. The Texan is here now. This is where I'm living.
It's all
like
right.
Still lightly Texan because I don't quite know how to do a proper Southern accent, but that's all right.
It's a little bit more smoothness and a little bit more drawl, depending on what you're talking about. In this case, we're talking about a little bit of money in Savannah, versus,
Savannah.
Exactly. Add a couple of extra vowels there. What'd you roll?
I rolled a 12.
Y'all, I want you to understand that you have rolled almost every bad roll on this chart that it is possible to roll, as you now roll an invasion revolt.
What can I say? We are not good at taking care of other people.
Are you even good at taking care of yourself is the question.
No, that's part of it. Other people include ourselves, because We don't want to be connected to our own families because we're just gonna live in zeros. All right, what can I do?
You get y'all get a minus 1d6 to HOA, wealth, people, and then minus a 2d6 to your reputation. I'm going to just say it that your reputation might be in the hole.
Oh man, that's so funny. I just got a 6. So we're gonna minus 6 on our first one for my HOA.
You're still positive.
And again, holy shit. Well done. I got a 3 for my next one.
For your influence, you are now at 0 in influence. I want you to. This is where I have to give you the 0. The 0 is at one end of the extreme, and so I have to give you the 0 rating. You're brand new, or your family was so scandalous that even 3 generations later, you're still shunning you. Folk are still shunning you.
I love it. I love it, and I'm sorry to the children that were in my family. My next one is a 4.
Yeah, I just need to make sure I put it in the right place. 4 is...
So we've had a 6, 3, and a 4.
No, I'm sorry. I put the 3 in the wrong place. You are not at 0 in influence. That goes into your wealth. Now you're still... And your people are... You know, you're not at 0 in anything yet.
Oh, shoot.
I misread something. And then a minus 2d6 to your reputation.
I'm so ready. I got a 3. We're minusing 3 out of my reputation, which I think still, once again, puts me at 0.
No, puts you at 3. Puts you at 3.
Oh, shoot. I was pretty influential there for a hot second.
Yeah, your reputation was positive for a second, then now we are in single digits in every value. I am here for this hilarity and fun.
I love it so much. I'm the family you don't want to interact with, but it doesn't mean we're bad people.
Don't it though?
Life.
Don't it though?
Don't it though? Shoot.
1914.
Am I rolling?
1914 3d6, please. How was World War I for y'all?
Oh, World War One. World War One was a 4. So if we're going anything even remotely,
y'all, statistically.
Oh my god. Statistically, something good should have happened.
There is a chart.
We are breaking statistics.
There is a chart. It goes from 3 to 18 on a 3d6 roll. The good and bad are kind of cut in between each other, and so that they're not even there's an equal number of good and bad events, but they're not, you know, pinned anywhere, so that you could have a random sort of random situation. You have not rolled a single positive roll. You have now rolled a catastrophe.
Awesome. Like, give me a catastrophe. Sorry. That must be so loud. Okay. I love when things go completely chaotic. It gives you so much more.
Lena saying that Pope took all the good rolls. This is true. One of my players rolled legitimately almost all positive rolls that you could get. He also had the longest history that you could get. Second longest history that you could get. And he just started with really great rolls and then just built up from there. All right, so we have a catastrophe.
Beautiful. Is this the worst one you could possibly get? Or?
No, that would be another doom. This is minus 1d6 to HOA, wealth, people, and reputation.
Oh, that's only 3.
4.
That's
4.
so much better.
Okay. Oh,
4.
Oh, shoot. Well, you roll. Yeah, you roll 4. So did you? Wait, you rolled it. You rolled a 6.
I rolled a 6. What can I say? I'm really the roll is 6, so I'm at 0 in HOA, I think now, right?
No, you're at a 2. You're at a 2.
Oh.
I
remain.
You remain.
I remain.
Minus a 1d60. Where are we? We are at catastrophe. Your wealth is minus what?
It's -4, honey.
You're at a 1.
Oh shoot! You know what? At least it's not 0.
At least it's not 0.
There could always be worse, and even when it gets worse, then it can only get better. I mean,
you keep saying that, but I have not seen an improvement in any way, shape, or form yet.
We had 1 improvement. Don't you lie to me. It's and then we have a 5. Oh, I'm crushing it.
You are crushing something. And then the last 1d6
is gonna be a 6. Jeez Louise, where were you earlier? Where were you? Know what? It doesn't matter.
Hi. You are now at 0 in reputation.
Thank you so much, sugar. I'm so glad that.
Technically, you're at -3, but you can only go down to 0. Your reputation is scandalous. Between public affairs and the implications of corruption, the church ladies have never had a good word to say about your family. You are the gauge by which all other scandals are measured by.
You know what that makes me? Liberated to do whatever I should please. And I have no one that I need to hinder or to put myself up against.
You say that. We'll find out.
My allegiance to no one, and that makes me dangerous. We'll find out.
1928, how'd that stock market crash go for you?
Let's find out. I've just got a notification that my internet connection is unstable. Just as a...
If we lose you visually, we'll put your 13.
I got a 13, which I believe I've gotten in the past.
You have. It's an eccentric ruler. This is the one that's...
Which is 1d6 minus 2d6?
No, it's 6 minus 2d6, yeah.
Let's find out.
Across
How am
the
I
board.
doing, sugar? I'm gonna get a -1. 2! I got a positive, y'all. Howdy about that. Ooh, a -3.
We're back at 0.
0. -1. And a -5. So I think I've lost everything.
Well, and you need one. You need one more.
One more. I can count. It's got 2.
Well, that went up.
Shoot. You know, sometimes
you are now at a you are now also at a 0 for wealth.
Beautiful. So proud of me right now.
Your family is destitute. Y'all is penniless. Welcome to destitute.
Look, thank you. It's where I belong, as the dice have declared it for me.
Well, that definitely declared something for you. Let's see if you can go with from 1941 to 1945. How did World War II treat this family? I'm going to assume not good.
We're just going to assume it's trash. I got a 15.
Look, I love this bookend.
Maybe we're good fighters.
Well, you ended up with more treachery.
Oh shoot!
You started with treachery.
I already rolled a 15.
You started with treachery and you end with treachery. So treachery, by the way, gives you a plus 1d6 to your HOA and then minus 1d6 to your influence and reputation.
Well, I don't think my influence and reputation can really take much more, but I will take my 3.
That's good.
For my... Hey, it's something. Something's better than nothing. We got a 5, minus 5 for my...
Influence,
and my reputation takes a hit of 3. So I think I'm at 0, 0.
Yes. Well, an actual 0 in your influence, but a technically minus 11 in your reputation.
Oh, shoot. I didn't realize we could go into the negatives and reputation. What's up, everyone? I'm here to ruin your life. Please come visit my house. I will have no crumpets for you, but if you bring them, maybe I'll like you a little bit.
Well, no, I mean, mathematically it stays a 0, but I just want you to know that the running total was a -11. So
I'm so pleased.
So here's the thing. I'm going to force this to change to a 0 so it recognizes that. And I'm going to force... So you are currently at 0. Okay. Before we put any of your modifying dice in, you are at a 4 in HOA, which is, have y'all heard of a lawnmower? And those gutters need some serious help. You're at a 0 in influence. Brand new, your family was so scandalous that even 3 generations later, people still shun you. You are at a 0 for wealth. You was destitute. You are at 1 for people. That is single life. It's just you.
Perfect. May I have a cat?
We ain't got there yet.
Or 5. Shoot.
Well, here's the problem. You're at 1 in land, which means that mortgage is high, but you can pay it. So you do own the you aren't renting at least. And then you at 0 in reputation. It's scandalous between public affairs and the implications of corruption. The church ladies have never had a good word to say about you. You are the gauge that all other scandals are measured by.
Thank you. That's my badge of pride as the most loathed in the country.
You are at a 7 in magic, which means you have some. It is occasional individuals with magic pop up amongst the family, but never predictably. Now, here's what we've got. The first thing you've got is you did roll 1 technically positive roll in your infrastructure. So you've got the 3 and the 2 to kind of place where you want 1, 3, 1, the 2 in that list. And I will tell you that values go up at the 11th spot. So you go, there's the bottom tier is 0, then it's 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 41, etc. So putting a value in any of those zeros will immediately jump you up 1 tier. So you won't be.
But what if I just go full gremlin and only put it in magic?
Well, you have to split them.
Oh, okay.
You can't put them both in the same. Well, no. The infrastructure you have to put separately.
Okay. Well, then I would like it so that I would like to improve my wealth, and I would like to own this house, so I'd like my mortgage should be lower. I don't, as awful as it is, it's like, well, I don't know if I'll be of any benefit to your players if my reputation is so low.
But it doesn't matter. That doesn't mean they need to. NPCs don't always have to benefit the players. They're just
true
people in the world. So what do you want? You've got a 3 and a 2. What do you want to do? Like, if you've got right now a 7 in magic, and your bonus die.
It won't take me to an 11.
Not with that 3 or the 2, but those bonus die at the bottom will. One of those bonus die at the bottom will. Thank you for that follow. Welcome in.
I mean, I'll take.
Yeah, because you want to do because you could push your
shoot.
Yeah, now it's math. This is why it's the hard part.
Shoot, sugar. I should have written all this shit down instead of carrying it in my head.
Oh, wait. No. Wait. Apparently it didn't send you this link either. Because I am not that mean. There's a whole Excel, Google Sheets has been going.
Well, shoot. I've been doing pretty good keeping it in my head. I won't lie to you about that.
No, you've been very good about it. But I was like, nah, y'all. The reason I know these numbers cold is because I actually had them. I'm looking at the sheet right here.
I was assuming that you were one of them, let's call it organized ladies over there. You hear? All right. So what I'm going to do here, occasionally. So we got them bonus dies down there, but we did finally get 1 infrastructure, which I am just delighted to hear. You know, I can't believe I have a 3 in HOA rating, or
a 4.
I like amazing. Look at me. Look from a 21 to a 4, and all of that pain.
Well, Dragon Saints, this isn't just a character. This is a whole ass family. Now, admittedly, that whole ass family is a single individual, but it is a whole ass family.
This is pretty rough. All right, all right. So how about I
Wait.
put a little bit more?
Oh, people.
What's on your mind?
I'm just double checking that I got you right. Yeah, no, you are actually. Sorry, I misread. You are at 1 in people, which means you are not a single life. It's you and your spouse. You're 1 tier above.
Oh well, sugar. I'm delighted to hear that. Is my spouse a cat? No, I'm kidding.
Look, we can determine whether you're a cat. Because again, this is an urban, Southern Gothic urban fantasy. There are supernatural creatures, and the world has. One of the other things about this world, when we finally get into building the lore aspect of the house, is World War II changed so much for the world, with so many countries joining in large-scale land battles and devastating bombings. The creatures and beings that once hid in the shadows, that most modern, rational adults viewed as superstitions from a bygone age, were forced into the light. The world knows that humans aren't the only beings on the planet, and now they must learn to live together.
Ooh.
So your spouse could indeed be a shifter of some sort. There is a family. There is a very nice family of sand tiger sharks.
Oh.
They live on Tybee.
We'll shoot.
Mostly. Welcome in, Raiders.
Well.
How was Elf Lines today, everybody? From Cybernation Uncensored. We are building. My wonderful friend here, Elaine, is helping me build an NPC
We're
house.
building my trash house.
It's look, when you roll that many bad, like
I rolled really well on really negative moments in my life. So that means I just had 6s across the board. What can I say? I'm good at.
Yeah, and not the good time, and not the times to be rolling them.
And I rolled poorly when I should have been rolling well. All right.
Pretty much. But the captions broke? Hold on, let me fix the captions. Thank you very much for that. Why did captions break? All right. Is that better? I think they should be back now. Looks like it's back. Who knows? They must have just. But thank you for that very much important thing. We want to make sure that things are accessible as possible, and that's why if something like that breaks, I appreciate it. Thank you. But yes. So now that you see your values, you have to put that 3 and the 2 somewhere. And you do have a, like, mathematically, you can't jump that magic a second level. You can only bump it 1 level. So you could put that 4 bonus die in under the subtotal, leave it 7, and then put that 4 in. That'll bump it to an 11, and therefore you've bumped yourself to a new total. But you can then spend. I don't think you can get anywhere else. Well, if you put a 3 in infrastructure, that'd bump it to 7. And then anything you put in the bonus die, like if you put that 5 or that 6 in the bonus die, that'll bump your HOA rating a level.
So I'll have a nice looking house and will be a little bit magical.
Yeah, and everything else.
And by nice looking, yeah, let's do it.
and by nice looking, you mean a little well loved, but that just adds character. That's like a lot of multi.
I'll put my 2 into my wealth, or no, I should do it into my land so that I own my land, so that it's right. If I have a 3 in land, then I at least own it. And
well, you've already, you're at, because it only jumps at the 11, right?
Right.
So where are you at?
Well, none of my other dice will bring anything else up to an 11.
Yeah, you with your land, you're currently at, the mortgage is high, but you can pay it. So it's mortgage, you're not renting. There's no way you can get to an 11 on that.
No, I was just quickly seeing if I put a 3 into my 7. It's gonna get that to 10, but then it would just be 16, not 22, so I couldn't increase my magic more. It's fine. I'm just thinking.
Yeah, you only
I'm
need
gonna
to.
see if I can.
I tried that math too. I was like, if you put the 3 there, then if you put the 6 in, you'd still only get to 16, and that would not put you at 21.
We're at the sexy point of point spreading. Ooh,
Yes.
what a fun! Ooh, spreadsheets. Ooh.
They can be very,
All
very
right. So
attractive
okay,
to
then
some
I'll.
people.
Mm, well, shoot. If I put my 2 into my, I could have a slightly better reputation, or I could have a little bit better wealth because I could put 2. Nah, shit, it doesn't matter. Oh well, I mean, it would get it up to 7 at the very least if I put in my bonus die of 6 into either influence. I could put it. I could just be. You know what? I could just be the average person. I'm trying to decide if I want to be a really average person or just be atrocious, and that is taking a second. I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna put it in the land, whatever. So my 2 is going in the land, so I'll have a 3 there,
Mm-hmm. And
and
then,
then I'll spread out the rest of my bonus die.
yep, just spread them out where you think that they go, and that'll. Because if you put either the 5 or the 6, like if you put
And to
HOA, it'll bump you over the 11 marker.
Mm-hmm.
And then anything you put in influence, wealth, and reputation will bump you up 1 level.
Good job, me. So
Yep.
we have the 5. That guy.
Now it is
I'm just
that
gonna keep a bad reputation.
you're just gonna keep a bad reputation.
Yeah. I believe that is. I believe my final totals are a 12 in HOA rating. I have an influence of 3. I have a wealth of 3. I have 4 in people. I have a 9 in land. I have a 2 I have a 2 in reputation and an 11 in magic.
So you end up with your house is a little well loved, but that just adds character. Your
Oh,
influence,
cozy as can be.
your influence is, who are you again? Do I know you? Um,
Perfect. You would not remember me. Don't worry about it. I'm working on my tea cozies.
your wealth is impoverished. You lack essential resources, and you know how to use food stamps.
Perfect.
It is 1941, 45, excuse me. You have a 4 in people. It is you and your spouse. You have a
I love it.
9 in land. That mortgage is high, but you can still pay it.
Mm-hmm.
You have a 2 in reputation. This is my favorite reputation value. Y'all a little on the trashy side.
Beautiful. All that means is I have ingenuity. You understand now? It's
And
not my fault that you don't know how to use and build things.
it's you had a that redneck engineering. I've seen it well. Uh
Mm-hmm.
you had an 11 for magic. Certain generations have magic, but never large expressions. So you have magic in your family of some sort. We can find out what type, and that will be where things go. Yes, someone's reputation is worse than mine. PB is playing the incubus, a bunch of incubus and succubus who apparently started out pretty okay. There was a devastating fire. They attained some additional land. The problem was that they did not know that the land that they attained was consecrated, and that ended up with them being cursed for a real long time.
Oh shoot. I'm so sorry that happened to you. But I had 2 treacheries, a little bit of doom, and what else was that? Oh, 2 crazy leaders. Oh, that's excuse me. 2 uh
Eccentric.
eccentric leaders
Eccentric
and
rulers, a defeat.
eccentric rulers and a defeat. And then we also had a rebellion, I believe.
Oh, yes, you had a rebellion and a catastrophe.
Oh, and a catastrophe. How could I forget the great catastrophe
of World War
that was
One.
actually of World War One? Oh, and but I did try to rebuild my house just a little bit
You did.
at some point in there.
You
Yeah, just
did.
a teeny little bit.
A teeny little bit.
All right.
All right. So now this is the well, quote unquote easy part. Now we get into the fun part, right? This is the mechanics. Now we need to say what the mechanics and the story the mechanics tell. So the first question I have to ask is with this family. Because again, we set this up so that it begins in the post World War II era, lots of migration moving in. How long has this family been living in Savannah?
Well, shoot. You know, no one knows who we are because we actually haven't been in here that long. I heard the Savannah land prices were good, came over, took everything that we had and purchased that first home.
So when did y'all arrive? Was that during that infrastructure in 1861 or is that later?
Even later.
Okay.
I would like it if the treachery in 1945
ended up with y'all moving. Like,
yeah,
so family
we were like, you know what, where
in...
we've previously been feels cursed. We're just gonna try a new fresh start with everything that we have.
All right, so then we need to figure out, where is your family from starting in 1776?
That's a great question.
I feel like I should also share with you another document because it's great. This is the quick lore sheet that I created.
Oh, fantastic. I definitely could utilize a quick lore sheet. I'm coming into this without any previous...
It's okay, everybody else is.
Perfect.
I set this up so basically in 1941, the bombing at Pearl Harbor basically reveals the supernatural in such a way that it could no longer be hid. Up through the Battle of Britain, you know, the bombings in London, 1939, 1940, things start whispering and start spreading, particularly if you are like, you own a row house in London and you put wards on your house, but every house in your block is going to get destroyed in that bomb, and somebody's going to say something about why is that house still standing. So things start to slowly build into such a point that in 1941, the bombing of Pearl Harbor, there is a event and an explanation that prevents exposes the supernatural on such a large scale that everybody knows. This leads to a couple historical changes after 1941 that are public. There are some historical changes that I account for pre-1941 that are less public, that are into that lore. My post-1941 events are like a low because if you actually look at the historical record, everything that was wrong with FDR that he eventually died from was because of basically a heart condition that because of the polio, he could not get, he couldn't work out to reduce the heart condition stressors. So it would be fully treated with modern medicine and just pills. Like, you could have just treated it with pills. So a magic user is around to keep FDR alive. So he survives to the end of the war. For my own personal reasons, a small magic user child spontaneously heals Patton at the scene of his car accident. So Patton is not going to die.
Okay.
A Rusalka emerges from the Russian countryside to take revenge on the Soviet officer who murdered her. She becomes the focus of a women's revolution in the USSR that leads to the downfall of Stalin and the creation of the Federation of Slavic States. Little is known as after 1947, when the borders of the Russian Federation mysteriously vanished to all but authorized ambassadors. The UN Charter includes representation for the 3 aquatic shifter nations. With Russia a closed state, they rarely exercise their veto in the UN, but when they do, it causes tension between the Federation and the US, tensions between the Federation and the US to deepen. The push for equal rights begins earlier. Separate from race, the questions of species grows. Some horrible people still try to compare races to monsters, but the existence of actual vampires usually cause that comparison to fall flat and not be received well. The question of segregation. The Army and Navy were forcibly desegregated in February or March of 1942 over Congress's concerns about hidden supers natural beings in the service. Japan's supernatural population are present and active at the protecting of the cities of Nagasaki and Hiroshima. The bombs still go off, but the radiation radiation is prevented from or prevented the actions of
Kitsune and Tanuki.
Thank you. I was like, why are there words that are not making sense? Hirohito's speech about surrender includes phrasing about being the command of heaven brought to Japan by the yokai, which is actually important if you study Japanese history. Hirohito's speech never actually uses the word surrender because in Japanese culture you can't do that. So he asks them, the actual phrasing, the actual translation is, I request of you to do the unrequestable. It's like, I can't say I need you to surrender, but I need you to surrender. Which of course is going to have an effect on the occupation, but we don't know what that is yet because we're starting in 1945. And the new subdivisions, like this one, market to all beings. As such, the first integrated neighborhood, particularly in Savannah. And then December 7th, 1941, we already talked about. So that's like where everybody is worldwide. There'll be more hidden influences, and then their particular lore that we built around certain types of supernatural creatures. But where do you want this family to be from before they decide to move to Savannah in 1945?
I'm gonna make him from Boston.
Boston?
Why not? I don't know. Sure.
Okay. We're coming from Boston. So,
we're coming from Boston.
Okay, so the family is originally from Boston. Alright, so...
At least that's when, they decided to become a family together.
Okay, we can work with that. So in 1776, right? 1776. Yeah, you got a thing here.
We learned that we needed to stop parking our cars.
Well, you didn't need to stop parking your car. You didn't need to stop it. You needed to start. But
that's true. Fair enough.
words in my head. I do not need this. I need this. Okay. So the family gains recognition, power, becomes a house, for lack of a better term, with an action of treachery. And the core rulebook from Green Ronin Press, hashtag not sponsored, gives the definition for treachery. Either you suffered at the hands of treachery or you were involved in a treacherous act. In either case, the historical event stains your family's name. Should treachery be your first result, you gained your house by means of some dark deed, possibly betraying another lord or noble. Did you murder a British officer?
Look, if you're trying to come into my house, no representation, or no taxation without representation. I don't know, sure, yeah, I murdered a British officer.
I mean, what else? Yeah. You can do whatever you want. We're making this up as we go, that's the point. What type of treachery is your family experiencing in 1776 in Boston? Or participating in, I guess is the more accurate question. Who are you being treacherous with? Against?
Oh, shoot. Actually, I married the British officer, and then we killed him for his home.
Ooh, I like this. Ooh, I like this. Ooh. Ooh.
That's how we made him. That's how we established our foothold. We should not have been able to quite really fit in there, but well, shoot, now we do. So, and that's why my point started out, pretty good middle. He was an officer, he wasn't a colonel or something.
Well, remembering, of course, at this point in the English army, you bought your rank, so at least a captain or above would be a significant amount of money.
Yeah, fair enough.
Killing the British is always a way to get on my good side. I mean, you're not wrong. Have we talked about the fact that I do not hide my Irish Republican heritage? All right. 1789, however, was a doom for your family. You lost across the board, but significantly in magic, power, or HOA, influence, and wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So what was this doom in 1789 with the ratification of the Constitution of the United States?
So despite the fact that I had a treacherous act, like there was still a child from the generation of that captain's family. And what ended up happening was that side of the family removed themselves from us. And so we ended up losing all of that status that we had built up, all of that magic that was secretly running through their veins, that left our family. So we are no longer a part of a prestigious generation. Now it is just the pretty face that managed to
steal into this.
Like,
all right, so
steal into that family. So our doom was to lose our extended family, especially with the signing of the Declaration. Anyway, so I think that would be like, it wasn't a doom for the country, but man, lost my boats.
So your stepchild decides to encourage the rest of y'all's family and go back to England and say "fuck you."
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep.
Does a very important question?
They left us. They were fucking Tories. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, they were. They were.
They were. Yeah. Not us. Yeah.
Is this stepchild decry you as a? Because you lose a lot of magic here, right? Like this is a lot of magic loss.
And I think that was like the magic kid in the family. I think, like they were born of.
Do they curse y'all?
Why not? I think they absolutely should. They're like, when they learn about the betrayal from the previous generation, like grandma reveals it. Like they find the aquafina. What is the poison?
Yeah, the poison. I was like aquavita is
a drink.
Yeah.
But
finds the poison. Okay. Stepchild takes the rest of the family back. Curses the stepmother and rest of their family for the death of their father. Right? We're gonna go back, of course, and put like all of these names in and start figuring out who these people actually are after the fact, because this is one of the best parts about this. Doing it this way. But this way we keep doomed by inheritance law. There you go. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
My own actions.
we have not gotten there yet, Hawkeye. We have not determined species yet. It'll be a question. Do you want to answer that question first, or do you want to keep going?
No, let's build this up and find out exactly.
Where we go back afterward?
How this goes down.
All right.
Yeah.
So 1861, the world, not world.
Oh wait, are we doing the eccentric ruler first?
Oh yeah, sorry, I skipped that. Wow, eccentric ruler, 1820.
So I think that the eccentric ruler is the stepmother that went crazy, or not crazy. I'm trying to think of a better word than that. I apologize. Taking that out of my vocabulary. The stepmother who has become.
I leave it if she had an actual mental breakdown, and leave it if there's an actual mental breakdown where she physically does so versus hyperbole. Yeah, because there is an actual legal definition. But if we're doing hyperbole, is it okay? So here's the question.
No, I do think that she should have she has like an actual mental breakdown, and it makes so that even like the next generation of child there becomes generational trauma for the loss of everything.
Okay, so when is her mental breakdown? Because she gets married sometime between 1776 and 1783. Her stepson
and then 1789
is 1789, so that's 6. Well, when do they get married? I guess when's the question? When do they get married? Would it be fair? Like we can even tweak that a little bit and say it's 1774, right? 1774, 1775. Because 1775 is Lexington and Concord, right? And that's the first battle against the British in Boston. When we kick British ass and have an issue. But if we do it like 1774, that's the beginning of British officer occupation in like the Boston Massacre.
I think that sounds perfect, actually.
Okay, so we make it 1774. All right, so 1774. And they marry for money, like you do.
In 1774.
Or even some people still today. No judgment. It's the murder for money that becomes the bigger problem. Like, I will judge you for murdering your spouse for money versus I'm not going to judge you for financially making choices for your financial independence, except for murder. I will judge you for murder in real life.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. But you and me both.
Yeah. All right. So how old is this? So the stepchild has to be at least 18 in 1789. But it should my vote is probably how old are they in 1774 when the marriage happens?
How old is the mother? Well, we're trying to figure out we need to figure out
when
they get married.
Yeah, we need to figure out how old the mother is, but we haven't determined what kind of supernatural she is. So what is her physical age versus what's her actual age be? I'm trying to figure out right now what the stepchild age is to kind of like give some other text in there. But yes, we need to figure out. We haven't determined what species the Black Widow side of the family. And then promptly kills him.
Oh, it's such a fun. There's so many. Like, the problem is you've given me all of so many of my favorites. Like, it's so I don't usually get like a Selkie, which would be really fun, and that's why they live in Boston near the water, in Savannah, closer to
you could
water,
just roll it.
I think I'm gonna end up let's roll it.
The only one, so like if you want to,
how many do you have?
Okay, so if you do with the general, do a D5, 1, 2, 4, 5, because they can't be human because you have magic.
So just roll 5.
Roll a /R 1D5. Yep.
All right, we're gonna do a roll 1D5, and I get 4. So
4 are shifters.
I shift into makeshift living. Howdy there. All right. So
now
Selkie still.
Well, technically a Selkie is a fae, but we can have because they don't shift.
Okay,
the same
no,
way.
It's fine.
if you want to be a Selkie, we can have you be a Selkie. Have them be a Selkie.
It's just they're also a little antisocial. It just kind of fits just a little bit. But
well, then we go Selkie. We go murder Selkie, which is great because it's very slightly against the trope. Usually the stories are like the tragedy comes because they actually do. Fun fact,
because they actually
in Irish mythology, usually the Selkie stories are there's this lone fisherman falls in love with a Selkie and she falls in love with him because he's out on the water talking to her and whatever, and she chooses to give up her life in the ocean, and very rarely are the stories about actually stealing Selkie pelts. It's all just I feel called to marry this landlubber and I can never go back to what I was, but whatever.
True. No, I mean, that's why I'm hesitant about it too, because it doesn't make a lot of sense that she would choose to live on land.
Yeah, but we could go with a Nereid.
That's the other one I was looking at, was the Nereid.
There you go. You can go with a Nereid.
Not survive in fresh water. Fully submerge. Yeah, sure. Let's be a Nereid.
Yep, Nereids cannot survive in fresh water. They must submerge fully in salt water once per day for children and young adults, once per week for adults and older. So you could be, and that could be how stepchild finds out.
And then on top of that, the reason why our garden sucks is because I keep throwing out the salt water. It's just briny. Nothing lives except for like brambles.
It's like y'all, you let this happen in the best way.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I have to use the restroom slightly, and I feel
Okay.
bad because we're on.
No, I think we should just
Is
take a
that
break.
alright?
It's actually a person. It's I was gonna say it's an hour and a half. This would be a perfect time to take a break, stretch, bio, do all of those good things, and we'll be back in a little bit.
Fantastic.
Um, and we'll see you. We'll find out more about this Nariad family. In a little bit, everybody.
We'll see you soon.
Hi, everybody. We're back a little bit early because we started talking about things.
It's just gonna happen now.
Exactly.
All right.
We're just gonna happen. I'm sorry. Was I supposed to leave you more time?
Did everyone go pee? Are we okay? Is everyone okay? I don't know if anyone else listens to What the Fuck with Mark Maron, but
that's okay. So we are back, and we were talking about this, and it's like, so we've got this Nereid. He marries a British occupying officer to gain his property, and then kills him a time later. And we might have to make this like eventually kills him, right?
Yeah. Because maybe he like was just a little bit too controlling, or she just disagreed with him because she's Irish originally Irish, coming from Ireland to Boston.
Yeah, and then also Nereid, there's a whole bit about nymphs, Nereid, and all of that kind of stuff. I'm getting notifications. I'm like, I really want to answer this. Okay is better than bad. This is so we moved the wedding to 1774. And then if the child is born in 1775, the child would be 14 in 1789.
Ooh.
Just about the right time to be like
to like to have been influenced by the other side of the family to take everything away from them. Old enough to go across the ocean on a boat alone,
and old enough, and even be presented in court. Not quite old enough to be presented in court by 16, because she would be 16, but 15 by the time she gets to London, maybe. And as an officer, as a British officer, he would have been at least have some financial wealth, maybe even be lower level gentry, depending on whatever level of officer he was, right? So this question then becomes, when does she kill her husband? Or does she actually kill her husband? When does the husband die? Let's go with, when does the husband die?
The husband needs to die for long enough for that child to have fallen in love with her dad. So I think like 7.
That makes sense. Okay, so
like long enough to have built in permanent memories of them being a loving parent, but short enough for it to have felt like a theft of joy. Because I think that's awful.
Because you need to have a reason to explain why his family is going to influence this child to break with their mother and leave Boston to go back to England. So if there's 1780, it's like we said, 1789, and they're 14, 15.
Okay, I know we just said Nereid, but I think it would be extra tasty if she didn't, because you said, did she kill her husband? What if she didn't kill him?
That's the thing, is like, what if she didn't kill him?
What if we go back to Silky Romantic, and what if she didn't kill him, but the family claimed that she did because it was a tragic drowning?
Yeah, it's like tragic drowning. I like this. All right.
And then, okay, so let's do that instead.
Okay, so Selkie.
Back to being a Selkie, because she is originally an Irish lass.
Yeah, okay. So Selkie. And he dies tragically. I'm here for all this. He dies tragically.
He dies tragically
in a boating accident.
Let's do it. Yeah.
And his British and his family in England blame her.
Yes.
But
for the boating death.
But okay, so here's the question: they met in Boston? That's where they got married. So if the child was born in 1775, right? Did they ever go back to England at any point? And is it the reverse?
I don't think
like
the mom did.
Okay, so I
think that.
So they were never introduced. Like, he never introduced his new wife to his family which is, I guess,
just letters. Yeah.
just letters, which I think furthers that, like, he dies tragically in a boating accident. His mother is convinced it's her fault. Yeah. And then the mother-in-law starts communicating with the child, to
just like sending him gifts, like they've lost their money, like, you know.
And it's like, also,
like,
he's gonna be
declaration was signed.
The declaration was signed, or the declaration was signed in 1776. The Constitution is signed in 1789. Like, right? So, like, they're still living in England, in Boston, but he could still be inherit his titles and lands back in England. And she's like, you know,
if he goes back,
if this son, okay, so we've established that he's a son.
Yeah. My beautiful boy that looked just like his father.
Yep. And the mother-in-law, we're gonna need names for these people. We'll get back, but that's the point. We'll come back and do names after the fact. So the mother-in-law influences the son to reject his mother, and that breaks a large chunk of the magic.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a very important question.
Who knows? Maybe their family.
Yeah, that's my question.
Which that was, yeah. So it's like, actually, the magic was actually from his side, like the dad's side of the family.
Well, like, there's already magic that's there. So I mean, she's a Selkie,
right.
So it's already there. But they're like,
true.
What if the family? What if there's some way that, does he burn her pelt?
I think he does. I think he should absolutely take her pelt. That's part of, like, the curse. So, like, she can't
go back.
And then that's when she becomes the eccentric ruler.
Yeah. So, like, all of this is right here. And because
it's so tasty.
Does the son take it, or does he burn it?
I think he takes it.
Okay, so he takes it because the mother-in-law tells him to.
Yes.
It's like,
that's an heirloom for our family.
Or is it this is how she entrapped your father and cursed him and killed him, and you need to take it to break her power?
Yes. Okay, I like that too. Yeah. Both are, yes. Well, he takes the pelt to England. And that's when she becomes an angry fighting Irish woman.
Yep, in Boston. It's like, there's a stereotype, it's fine.
I know. No, it's look, that's where I'm from too. Or not Boston, but
yeah,
50% at least. Really white of me to say it, but
no, it's okay. It's okay. You can. There's a long period of time that, particularly up until after 1945, Irish weren't white. Reasons why racism is stupid, because race, in the definition thereof, is entirely arbitrary. I'm not saying that racism does not have effects. I'm saying that being a racist is just stupid. It makes no sense. So you had other people in this family still, because even after this event where the pelt gets taken, so is there a younger child?
Yes.
Okay.
But, like, yeah. Maybe the younger child was. Yeah. No, we'll keep the younger child.
Yeah, so I think
from the same person, right?
Yeah,
I think. Well, it's 1820 now.
Yeah, it's 1820 now. So that's what I'm saying. Is like, so 1820 is, if we know that if she's a Selkie, she can be a Fae, which means she's effectively immortal, right? Like, she can appear whatever, but she's living on land. She marries, she has this child, a son, who the mother-in-law really influences, causes this doom of the family, taking of the pelt, all of these things. By 1820, that's 30 years after the son has left.
Okay.
But you still are at this point, with the family size in general, more than just a single person, right? So, like, there are other people in her family, so there has to be at least another child or siblings that are going with that.
I think there's probably a daughter, because I also lose a lot of land and wealth. So in order to try to give her a better life, maybe dowry her a bunch of my wealth and land.
Okay, so additionally,
and
a
I
daughter.
lose 2 magic. Yeah. So it still fits. Yeah, I think.
Okay, so
the daughter was young enough that she didn't know her dad very well.
So the daughter gets married. Okay, so well, that's the question. Okay, so we said that the father dies when the son is 7.
Is 7. Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna say that they die in 1781. If the daughter is born in 1781, she's 31 years in 1820.
Perfect. And that's why she's like, we've got to get you married, sweet girl.
It's like
here's the land.
We're going to this. Okay, I'm here for this. Who does gets daughter married? Daughter.
And that's why she loses some influence. But she gets a little bit of reputation to kick up because that daughter marries into a slightly better family.
Okay, so the daughter is born in 1781. Okay, marries into a slightly better family. Very late marriage. Talked about, but seen overall as not I would say because of that, like, reputation goes up instead of down. I would say that it has to be viewed as not gold digger, right? Like, it has to be seen as like just like it's not a wholly bad option for a marriage. As not,
it's probably not a love match, but a pragmatic match.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of pragmatism to joining in this family. So how about if maybe it's a little bit of like there's affection there? I don't know.
Would it be able to say that it's the other hallmark I've been telling my players for this game to kind of keep in mind is the Dark Shadows soap opera, not the movie, the original soap opera, which if you have not seen, Elaine, you should go look on my.
I probably would enjoy it. I have not, unfortunately, seen it.
It is started in the 60s. It's the opening bit is a coffin. You know, it's this big house in New England on the hill, and you're in a crypt in a mausoleum, and a coffin opens as this guy like forces the coffin open, and he reaches in because he's trying to steal something, and the hand comes out and pulls him in, and assume that something bad happened to him. The next scene is this dapper gentleman walking into the door of this house, dressed finely in a suit, carrying a stick with a raincoat over his arm, or well, he takes the raincoat and hat off, and he hands them to the housekeeper, who is staring at him like she's literally seen a ghost. And he says, "Oh, yes, I'm Barnabas Collins. I am here to visit my cousin Elizabeth from England. I am come from England to visit my cousin Elizabeth." And walk into the drawing room, and there's a painting of the original Barnabas Collins from the 18th century on the wall, complete with the exact same ring this gentleman is wearing.
Exactly.
Not really a spoiler, because you find this, the audience finds this out in the first
It sounds like
episode.
That right from the beginning, yeah.
The audience finds this out from the beginning. He is the original Barnabas Collins. He is a vampire, but he's been cursed with vampirism. There's sorceresses, reincarnation, werewolves, magic, curses, and all of the drama of the 1960s soap opera that you could possibly want.
Beautiful. That's super fun.
But if we do this with maybe that their the marriage is actually is a cover for the affection that both parties have for people that would be considered inappropriate.
Yes, I love it. And also the daughter's absolutely named Elizabeth because I feel like everyone is named Elizabeth in this time period.
Also very true. Okay, so Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. But it said exasperated like Orlando Bloom. Elizabeth.
Yes. Elizabeth is the daughter, marries into a slightly better family. Very talked about, but not overall cited as gold digger. The marriage is a cover for both parties to hide their inappropriate affections for
at
others.
First time. Yeah.
And because again,
but it's a good family. It's a good family that Elizabeth marries into.
Exactly, it's a good family that Elizabeth marries into.
So she gets her one in reputation from that.
Yeah, I'm here for this.
And 0 from the people because they're not stooping each other. I think it actually is working out really beautifully.
And of course, the whole reason why they're not going to have children is because, well, she got married at 31.
Well, the healthcare is bad there, but like, whatever.
Whatever. Look, I'm not saying that this is right. I'm just saying about the ideologies of the time in 1820. You know, they're bad decisions and thoughts. All right, so 1861, there is an infrastructure for this family. It means you get a boost in land, right? A boost in land and a boost in power. How do you invest in infrastructure in 1861?
Okay, so this is like where her sanity is kind of coming back to her a little bit, I think.
Okay.
After like, okay, the kids are separate, like taken care of, and now she's gonna try to take care of the home
and so also herself, because I mean, like,
and herself, yeah, because she hasn't had her pelt for years at this time.
Actually,
which is like, go ahead.
Yes, which is probably a big problem.
Yeah, and it's like, so sure, she can work on her HOA and she can build up a little bit more in her land. So her power rating goes up. Her power rating probably went up because of the purchase of the land. Who knows? 1861. Maybe
does she just buy a piece of land, or does she get a piece of land from one of the Union soldiers who doesn't come back?
I was about to say, I think that she probably ends up like picking up the neighboring land.
Okay.
In order to, which, and their house and like their land was nicer than hers, and that's why it went up.
Okay, so she, like, is it gifted to her? Is it one of those cases where like he?
Oh, like they were constantly socializing because they were neighbors.
Yeah, they were constantly socializing because he had no one to leave it to. So because her property and his joined, it's like, well, I'm just gonna give it to her.
Yeah, and he had no other like familiar. Maybe it was like a unsuccessful courting. Look, I'm going there. She's lives forever.
Does she? Is it unsuccessful because he just doesn't? Is it one of those he yearned from afar and never made it anything obvious for a really long time, and then he goes and dies on her?
Yeah, and then she finds like the letters in an attic, and she's like, "You fucking kidding me?"
This is number 2.
Number 2. This is just a tragic novel, and I'm loving it.
Yes. This is one of the things I love most about this system, is just you start with these pure numbers, and then you're like, okay, what do these pure numbers actually tell in this story?
Actually mean. Yeah. And like it makes the defeat in 1864 so tasty because that's like when she learned about it and she's just like, I'm surrendering this. I don't want this. I don't need this. I reject that this could have been. I'm like in mourning of that. So we have infrastructure where she started to rebuild her life and then goes through the defeat of just, I know what it is like to lose things, and I refuse to make myself remade in someone else's riches. And her defeat is just the gifting of it away.
Okay.
Which loses her a ton of land, apparently.
Also magic. A little bit, but not
and
a lot.
Magic.
I mean, she loses in everything, right? Like, a defeat is basically...
Yeah. Everything. Yeah.
Everything.
Oh, I like that he was a farmer. That was a good call.
Yeah.
No, a defeat is a loss in everything. I'm so
No,
glad it was only
it is. It's a loss of.
in
It's a loss of. Excuse me.
Magic.
It's a loss of everything except in reputation. So you don't lose reputation.
Oh. Well then.
You lose in everything else, but not reputation. There we go. So
beautiful.
So yeah, it wouldn't really change. So okay, so farmer looks forward and leaves her the property. I know that's spelled wrong. I'll fix it. She finds out that he loved her,
left her everything, just like sucked at it, like their afternoon teas, which she thought were so companionable.
Yeah, left her everything, but never said anything.
She has it for like 2 days, and then like his family comes and just takes it away from her, and then in the litigation she ends up losing in litigation and losing some of her own land and on top of it.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. So is he actually a widower?
Yeah, let's say he's a widower and it's like the kid.
Yeah, it's the kid.
She was also a widower, and that's where they bonded over. I love
it. And then she finds out from his diaries that
that's all she gets to keep. But that there was pining from afar. Oh, it's so good.
And it was I want to kind of twist it just a little bit more and go ahead and say he left a note that's like, I have to go, I'm part of this regiment, I'm going to do this, but I'm only after being there for a short time, and when I come back I will have the money that I need, and I'm going to propose to her when I come back. Yes, oh wait, he dies.
Perfect. I love it so much. Oh.
And then his son
his son comes in and is like, you can't steal my land from my father.
And
that's why her reputation
the will
challenges the will. Yeah,
because like it doesn't harm her reputation at all. It's gonna it's gonna harm his reputation, right? Because he's the one challenging his father's will, and then she loses at court.
So who was the person earlier that you said had like perfect roles all through? Because like if it's in the same time period as this, if it was one of his relatives, and like if that's the only spot, like if it ends up kismet, if it's the only spot where he loses reputation and I gain it, can he have taken from my family your player that had like super good roles?
I don't think it works. Let me check.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry if that was loud.
They're the family of fallen angels, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, that might be why they have ungodly good roles. Just that touch of the divine that they. All right, so where are we at?
Kai came up with a good suggestion there. I like that.
What do we got?
We are at 1864.
What was Kai's
In
suggestion? Sorry.
1864,
Oh,
there
Hawkeyes.
was a defeat.
Had to sell some land, some of her land to pay for the lawyer and the court costs. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I love that a lot. Yeah.
You know what we can? It's not going to work the same because they never intermarried with anybody. But I am going to do something that would make sense and tie it a little bit better. So because they're fallen angels, one of the things that they do is they have a lot of money, but they end up being carpetbaggers at the end of the war, and they're kind of spread out along the eastern coast at this point, where they all come back to Savannah. But one of the people that they hired demons who are, they start hiring demons into the family to kind of not revitalize, but rehabilitate the truly fallen demons and not just fallen angels. Like there's a difference between falling and then being damned to hell, right? Like those are two different levels. And so they start but one of these demons that they're rehabilitating is a lawyer, and I want to make him the lawyer for the son.
Beautiful. I love it. Perfect. Flawless. Stunning.
Did she ever meet the son's lawyer?
I think they should have.
Because I can see a Selkie recognizing a demon, right? Like
yeah.
All right.
Being like,
this
is
she
a
was
turn of
at
events
court.
I did not expect.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons why her reputation doesn't go down, because she's like, I can see that fighting this battle is going to leave me a little bit more scarred than initially I'd wanted.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a step back from this.
Okay. So son,
can we
okay, farmer's son, we'll eventually get names for all these people, hires Mikey the demon lawyer.
Mikey.
He has a different name at this point. And that is why you lose. She loses so bad. But the
I love it.
She he's a demon.
Is it like one of those situations where it's like, I don't actually dislike you, so I don't have to hurt your reputation, but I am gonna rob you blind. Not really feel bad about it.
Yeah. Cheers. I'm like, I'm a vampire. It's not a vampire. I'm a demon. It's just business. It's just business.
It's just business.
He made a deal. I'm gonna keep my deal.
Yeah.
Like there you go.
I've already lost everything that was important to me in my life, and you can't quite take what's much more than that from me.
Yeah, pretty much.
There we go. Because she's a drama. I just think she's pure melancholy drama because she hasn't had her skin for a really long time. So she's remains defeated, I think, throughout this.
Yeah, I think can I say one thing when we eventually get there? I think she gets the pelt back in 1928.
I think so too. I think that's a great
because that's where that boost to magic comes back.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Okay, she definitely gets her pelt back in 1928.
So we're not there yet, but I'm making that note.
Okay, but yeah. Okay. So there's an invasion and a revolt in 1893.
Okay, so she's not by herself, right? Like she still has technically she still has a spouse or at least one other member of her family with her at this point. She's not wholly alone. So what is this invasion? In 1893, this is an invasion and a revolt. You lose a massive amount of power, wealth. You lose and there's a whole bunch of people who die.
Yeah.
So is this a case of like, does she stay in Boston after this court case with the widower? Or does she leave Boston? I know she's not in Savannah yet, but...
Yeah. Yeah, she leaves Savannah because it fits her reputation at that time, but I think her reputation, it goes down pretty harshly from this point on. I think that she's lonely and she adopted family into her family, maybe.
Okay, are they human or are they also...
I think they should also be... Should it be both? Is this a time, and does this fit in the timeline of people not appreciating, let's see, in 18...
1893, orphans are a thing, but also 1893 was picked because it's the Sea Islands hurricane. It's the seventh most deadliest hurricane in recorded history. It makes landfall on Tybee and Savannah and then swings north. So it does go through New England. And if she left Boston and maybe moved like Rhode Island or Connecticut, right? Like not that far away.
Yeah. Yeah.
You still could have had like this. You can change invasion revolt to something like well, I mean it's an invasion or revolt. Wait, isn't there well, it could be. But I'm like there's a 1890s US strikes. Because there's a really big the
Pullman strike.
There's
a national labor policy in the United States during a period of deep economic depression.
Because there's the economic depression of 1893, which causes the closure of the Philadelphia and the Reading Railroad companies, and a whole bunch of companies, like massive number of people going unemployed. There's just a massive upswing, and brings a lot of populist revolt. Along with a large number of strikes. And if you have this problem, it was widespread. And yes, labor strikes are an important thing to do, but these became really violent and very aggressive and kind of...
Well, it made change happen.
It did.
And it made change happen in a way that destroyed what little property and land and wealth she had, which... As an Elaine, I don't really feel bad about, but like, our girl can't win.
No, she can't. She cannot.
So I think she lost a business.
Okay, so
she lost like, and I think that she was probably like during infrastructure it went up a little bit. Maybe she had started a store during that time period, and I think that she lost the business.
Are we going to lean into the stereotype and the actual history at this point and say that she had like a lace shop or embroidery shop?
Oh my god, yes, please let my spinster be like someone who does like the hand done lace with like the wooden instruments and like
an Irish lace tatting. Yeah.
Irish. Apparently that's a stereotype, but I'll take it.
Well, at this point, Irish lace is really, really expensive at this point, is considered really popular, and tatting is what it's called. So if she started, like, if she's at this point, like when that infrastructure during, she had started selling
I think that
lace
like her
work.
people
Is it like from her home kind of thing, and then it kind of swells to like a small storefront?
Yes. Yeah, I think that she had a small storefront, and then her people were her employees. That, if you're here, your family, like bullshit.
Yep. And bonds with a few employees. Is she saving orphans and giving them employment throughout all this period?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that
hiring orphans
sounds like a really hiring orphans, trying to be.
Yeah, that's one of the things, and I think that's one of the things why her reputation is never seen as a bad thing, because she's got like, she's this spinster old woman who, not old woman because she still looks like what she's.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And she the Pinkermans were called in to suppress the strikes across the board. It got real messy, real bad. So all right, so labor strikes and they're Pinkertons, not Pinkermans, the Pinkertons. Sorry, I was like the Pinkerton response cause the destruction of the store. Does that make...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. and to account for the people, we lose, the destruction of, like, just a couple of the a couple employees die.
I think that sounds right. And those employees, because now her reputation just starts to just nosedive.
Mm-hmm.
From this point on, it's like -6s, -5s, and -3s.
Yeah, she has horrible reputation.
I think she begins to isolate and be cruel to other people now. It's been a really long time. Like, I think that she just, like,
I mean,
I've tried to be kind.
We are full on at 100 years without her having a pelt.
Oh yeah, I think she just begins to start being fucking mean.
Is there any sign, like, does she still have any connection to her daughter's family, Elizabeth's family, at all?
I think so, a little bit. I mean, like, why wouldn't she have a little bit of a connection to Elizabeth's family? And, like, they're starting to realize that she just, like, isn't getting any older, so she has to, like.
Mm-hmm. And Elizabeth's,
go ahead. What are your thoughts?
So I'm sitting here going, as like, Elizabeth's half, so she probably lived longer, but is effectively immortal that her mother is. We still have to find a name for the mother. For the Selkie. I'm leaning, like, actually Irish names.
That's what I was just thinking too. I was like, I'm gonna quickly look that up.
I think, is this a case where it's also, like, the catastrophe, it's 1893, she's been without her pelt for 100 years effectively. And is it that it's not so, because when you get to the next level, it's the catastrophe. And I don't think she's mean so much as she no longer gives a fuck. Right? Like,
yeah, I think that, completely apathetic to the point where it's detrimental to other people that are around her.
Yeah, and it's also a level of apathy that is problematic for any particularly unmarried woman in the turn of the 20th century, right? Like, you can't afford to be less than perfectly polite if you're a single woman in this time, because of many reasons, all of them horribly misogynistic, but some of them...
I was about to say, can we just say breaking hearts and taking names and not giving a fuck about it? Does she well, her reputation starts going down. Does she start to have public affairs? Like, I think so. I mean, like, if she's totally apathetic, I have decided to make this into she's a tragic romance novel.
Here for it.
Yeah, so sure, absolutely. And
okay.
Like,
all right,
we've unhappily married men, and we'll just, like, make it off at, like, at the -6. It is as bad as I could possibly make it.
Okay, so here's the thing.
But then rejecting what? Go ahead.
So let's make it even worse a little bit. Like,
okay.
So 18, because we can make it all the worse. So World War I is a catastrophe. Is this a case of her first, like, one of the first public affairs she has? He's gonna go and die in World War I, because everybody she has an affair with is gonna die. But
yeah,
does she get pregnant?
Ooh, single and pregnant? Yeah, sure, let's do it.
Single, pregnant?
No, my family doesn't go up, though, ever.
No, well, no, it doesn't. But it doesn't go, it doesn't go up. That's the problem.
And I get a -5. Oh, so she could get pregnant and then I could die?
Or...
in infancy? Or...
yeah. Or does the child get taken?
Child could get taken, too, because they're silky. Or half silky, at least.
Or I don't know. I think that just goes too much, because we want to give at least some positive, like, she has this reputation, like, her reputation is going to the toilet, but I don't think she would lose, like, the care we've established for her in the children that she's caring for. I don't think would be harmful to children, if that makes sense. And I think the only way
I don't think it would be intentional.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be an intentional loss. I think that because of the time period, it's a very dangerous time to basically be a child.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Isn't this Spanish flu time?
Yeah, Spanish flu. The child dies in Spanish flu.
Yeah. And so does the rest of her household besides her. Yeah. So
well, I mean,
she'll get a -5 there.
Yeah, she does, and I mean,
it's a catastrophe.
It is a catastrophe, and she does end up with a positive. You know, like there is someone else still around when we get to 1945.
Someone else still there.
There's a spouse there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But
okay.
that can happen when she becomes an eccentric ruler again.
Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. Because
the catastrophe is
the catastrophe is public affairs.
Public affairs. Has
child out of wedlock.
Child out of wedlock.
The child dies in from Spanish flu.
The flu. From Spanish flu.
And so many others do.
Partners die. Yeah, one of her, and the partner that was going to be living with her for that time period also passes on from the Spanish flu. They gave it to the child while trying to take care of it while she was out having an affair. Catastrophe.
Or at least that's what people believe.
That's what people believe, yeah. This is the speculation.
In actuality, it was just her trying to go swimming to try and get some of this issue that she has with, being a Selkie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here's the thing, because we've established the pelt. Oh no, the pelt cannot be stolen from the Selkie but she gave the pelt to her husband, and then the son took it. So he didn't actually steal it, right? Like he doesn't steal it. He just takes
it.
Which is an important distinction, right?
And she, let's see, yeah, because her wealth goes down by 7 in the Doom, so she loses her ability to travel across the sea to go and get, like, she just doesn't have the money for it. Like, she could sell her home, but then, anyway. Okay. Perfect. I think that fits the catastrophe really well.
Spanish flu and current lover dies from the flu as well. Caring for the child.
Which, so deep power loss. Maybe this person, how about like the person that she was having the affair with, that she had the kid with, was someone who had a kind of a substantial amount of it's like influence in the community, right?
Yeah. Are we still in Boston? Did we ever leave Boston?
I think we're just about to be leaving Boston now.
Okay.
Because things are starting to come up Millhouse.
Okay, that's fair. Wait, hold on. I need to double check something. I need to double check an event. So, do we want to be really horrible and say the lover dies in the molasses flood?
Sure, let's do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, the molasses flood. Actually, yes, this is a historical event. It actually did happen. A molasses holding tank on the wharf in Boston let go and killed 21 people and injured 150 more, and, just wiped out blocks of Boston. It is a very tragic event that, yeah. It was also because somebody was very shoddy and should not have been attempting to do that level of poor construction all around.
Yeah.
Okay, so the lover dies instead of Spanish flu of lover dies of wealthy lover. Are they the father of the child too?
Hold on, let me roll 1d2. 1 they are, 2 they aren't. Rolling the dice. My internet is so good right now. It's a 1. They are.
Wealthy lover and father of the child dies of the molasses flood. Was just on the street, walking down the street, and then boom. Literally, that's what.
Awful.
It is horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah, it is. It is not a.
It's not. It's a pure shock death. Well, that sucks. Well, I think at that point she's like, all right, let's go get my pelt back.
Okay.
So yeah, so she'll get the pelt back next because she's like, I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe this is where her daughter goes in to get the pelt back for her and gives it to her, learns from the extended family that she's been separated from, and that's how she loses this reputation because the daughter believes them. Or not the daughter, but like the granddaughter or something.
Well, okay, but
and like
I don't know, like then why does she bring the pelt back, right? Like if you learn about her from this reputation and that's going to further harm the reputation, does it would it not make more sense to say instead that she gets the pelt back either through maybe a granddaughter or great granddaughter or grandchild, and maybe even it's her son's grandchild.
Oh yeah, and the son's grandchild is like showing more silky abilities
and brings the pelt.
The magic goes up too and brings the pelt back. And is like, this belongs to my grandmother.
And
yeah,
and in that case, would the reputation then be that because she has the pelt back for the first time, she starts being slightly more eccentric, perhaps, in the definition of publicly appearing eccentric, when she starts doing more active magics, right? Because she's got the pelt back.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to buy this house I've got this house on the sea, and I'm going to go swimming every day.
All the time
in the North Atlantic? What are you doing?
What are you doing, ma'am? And she refuses like calls from other people in order to swim again and like be one of the sea again.
Yeah.
After finally getting her pelt back from her granddaughter, because her people doesn't change. So this granddaughter doesn't stay, but maybe the granddaughter is like moved to, like, encourages the move.
Yeah, I mean, like, because here's the thing,
Savannah,
like, there's still someone hanging around.
Oh, and there's treachery next.
Treachery next.
So yeah, so the granddaughter gives back the pelt, and the treachery is from the granddaughter again.
Oh, okay. So we'll find out. Okay, so the son's, I think it has to be the son's granddaughter, right? Like, so her great granddaughter.
I think so. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, or a later descendant, right? Or even further, right? Because the son is born in 1774, and it's 1928.
We're in the 1900s now.
Yeah, so it has to be. So let's make it the son's great grandchild or descendant.
I like it. Yeah, we'll say the son's descendant or great grandchild comes and brings the pelt back.
She embraces the sea again, bringing a whole, which gives you that big negative to reputation, because what are you doing? But
yeah, why are you doing that? But also, I think she neglects the companions that she made.
Yeah,
and so like anything, like the people that she was socializing with, because she would like, she completely removes herself from them, and that makes them be like, you're not returning my calls, you're not coming to social events, you're swimming in December.
Yeah, but because she has that magic back, she can start making moves again and start gaining a little bit of influence. Start doing it.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, so now we get the treachery.
Dun 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 dun. My HOA power went up a little bit here.
Yes, and your influence and reputation go down further. So
the daughter, or the great grandbaby, socially climbs for the mother in a way that's not positive.
Ooh.
Or in order to, so like hurts her, but like gives her, he's like, here's a little bit of pot, here's some land for you, mom, Granny Gray.
Oh, okay, so wait, So we know the descendant is showing more and more silky, recessive silky genes. So come more silky traits, and then finds the pelt and probably like letters or like a diary. Describe it from and diary explaining what it is. Okay, so now this descendant encourages the move.
Encourages the move to Savannah.
Which is that last loss of land, because what actually happens is she sells that piece of land to make the move.
Yes, I think so. I think that's...
And then she has just enough to make...
really well.
Has just enough to buy that piece of, get the mortgage on this piece of property that will be in 1941, particularly, based on things that have happened. So this needs to okay, so the family arrives in Savannah. She's there. What's the treachery here? Is the descendants, the family that they marry into, the treachery, or are they treacherous? Are they going to, or do we keep this tragic
one last final knife?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what would be a really good final knife. Like, so now we're in the 40s.
We're in the 40s.
40s and 50s.
Well, 40 to the game will start in 45. The game will start in 45. So where are things at in World War II?
Okay. So she hasn't aged at all, really, right?
No, I mean she's maybe
hitting.
Yeah, but it's also now in 1941.
A little bit.
We're hitting what? What was that? I'm sorry.
No. I was just thinking the final treachery, just because we've made this into a dramatic romance novel, would be that the final treachery is the because she's supposed to have a spouse now.
Yes.
The final treachery is she marries the grandson, the to be. You said soap opera. This is as soap opera as I can possibly make it.
She marries
the initially, like, she's like, come to Savannah, that's where my fiance is, and then they go down to Savannah.
Okay, so they go down to Savannah in 1928, or they go to Savannah in 41.
And 41. So,
okay.
Oh shoot, it doesn't quite work.
No, but if we
that would have been...
Oh no, what if we want to make this dramatic as hell and make it a little bit, because we've been leading into this fact that it's treachery, but let's also make it a little bit like tragic, because again, this is a tragic romance novel. Her descendant had been trying to encourage her to come down, and because of things, she will do so, but she agrees, you have to come up and help me move and help me pack, and the descendant dies on the way up, right, from Savannah to Boston. Train accident, boating accident, something there. But they look identical.
Oh, the the grandmother and the descendant, and the daughter.
And that's how that's how she, like, really obviously became a Selkie. Like, so she dies, but the original founding member of this family, the OG Selkie, they look identical, and she comes down, and the fiance, like, it was like a quasi-arranged marriage, in the sense that they were writing letters back and forth to each other. They never actually met. It was all pen pal stuff. Like, he was
oh my god, it's so much.
No, because this was something that actually happened during World War II. They encouraged young girls to write letters to troops overseas. To like give them boosts in morale, and it was one of those, they were writing letters back and forth to each other, and he proposed in a letter, so they've never actually met. He's only seen a photograph of her. And oh wait, you're my fiance. Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. I will take your land.
And you're
that's English.
I think what do you think about that?
I think that's great because then she ends up, and who are you again? With the reputation, because he's just a soldier who got back from war.
Yeah, it's like he's
or
just
is in war right now.
yeah.
Because what is it? No, ending at 95. So who's just got back?
And 45.
They just bought their home
40.
in Savannah.
Yeah.
45.
Yeah.
Okay, so
wait. Just...
still a little bit happening, but anyway. Okay, yeah, I think that fits.
Okay.
She just comes in and takes the place. So she's not the treacherous. I feel like she's been unintentionally.
Yeah, I think this is a case of there's something else going on. We may or may not find out what that is, but this goes back to that same kind of connection of treachery from when she first married her first husband. That everyone,
yeah,
outsiders think it's treacherous,
that she,
but it's not.
Yeah, treacherous. But like from the inside, it's just like, well, I am actually lonely now.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's be married.
Yeah.
I don't want to break your heart any more than my granddaughter's was.
Yeah.
And I'm still fine.
Exactly. And we don't know if does she ever tell him?
That can be where her reputation maybe takes a hit, as she does. I think she should eventually tell him.
Yeah, but maybe not right away.
Maybe not right away. She's like, they do establish themselves in each other's lives, and it's like when he could, like, maybe so because it's been like a pen pal reputational sort of situation, but when she finds herself finally like reawakening into possibly being in love, she has her silky skin back. He is supportive of her, like swimming and doing anything that like helps her feel solid and complete, and like they've been a rock for one another. And then she tells him that I am not the person you think I am. I only know what were in the letters because I read them. Yeah. So I have been lying to you. I am not the same person you think I am.
We'll find out what happens.
Maybe. Yeah. Or maybe that's, yeah. And then whatever happens from that point is what happens. And that's where they enter the story together.
I like this. All of this. I'm loving all of this.
Yeah.
Takes and what if it's one of those situations like he comes back and proposes to her at like she's there to meet him at the train station, and he's like, I'm going to propose to her the minute I see her, kind of thing, and just it's that classic case of like she does
like she's gonna just go with it because she knows what it's like now to just roll with the punches.
All right, we just need
everything. Go for it. What do we need? Oh, we need names.
We need names.
So I was looking at the names. So there's, of course, there's like Bria, which is a very traditional Irish name. There's, I was trying to think of like like a sort of an older one. So there's like Aisling would be such a strange. It's technically
Ashlyn.
Modern style, according Ashlyn. Yeah, or Maeve would be lovely. Hi, Maeve. It's so nice to meet you. There's Kiara, where you also have Rowan. Cara. Yeah,
the Ciara. KIA or CIAs. Is pronounced differently. Fun facts you know when your name is in that language.
And there's Orla. Or Eileen. AILEN, which would be funny because I'm Elaine.
I mean, we should lean into that one. I like that.
Eileen.
AEL
or AI. I'll type it out.
Yeah.
AILEEN. Eileen. Come on, Eileen. Come on, Eileen.
Yep. Okay, so Eileen. And what is her first husband's name? He needs to be a good Englishman.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be like a Michael or a William or something. Or Daniel. Daniel.
Daniel and Eileen. Oh.
What just happened? What epiphany did you just get? Did you read what Kai wrote, the grandson of the guy who won the lawsuit against her?
So, yeah, what Hawkeye wrote?
Because that would, yeah.
No, he's not. That was not the same grandson. We were talking about the son that leaves and buggers off to England. No.
Mm-hmm.
Is the soldier who comes back and proposes? Is his name Daniel?
Yes. Yes. I love it. I love it so much.
Oh, look.
Is this a full circle thing? Did he not die on a boat?
No, I think he died on a boat. Who knows? We'll find out what happened. No, just direct descendant of the farmer's son. I mean, I think we leave that question up in. I think he's actually from Savannah, right? Like, I think because he comes back to Savannah and she's living in Savannah, so I think he already is from Savannah, and rather than from being from Boston, or. All right, so what's her son's name? And the question is her son's name English or? I think her son's name has to be English.
Irish.
No, I think her son's name
has to be English because Wait, go ahead. What you had one?
No, because I think it's that case of like leaning into the
Grayson.
Ooh, I like that. Grayson.
Mm-hmm. Grayson.
Gray.
Because it sounds good in an Irish accent. S-O-N, yes.
I was making sure it was the A-Y, not the E. Grayson.
Grayson. Oh, Daniel. Oh, Danny boy. The pipes were calling.
Grayson curses his mother, Eileen. The rest of the family for the death of his father, Grayson. Or his father,
or father Daniel.
Yeah, his father Daniel. His father Daniel. And then the mother-in-law. She's a piece of work.
Who's very English. A very English woman's name.
Mm-hmm. And like Georgian, like, and she has to have a Georgian English name, like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, wrong Georgia. Sorry, she needs to have a very English name.
Like either like Eloise or something strong.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. She's obviously not.
There's like it's gonna be like it's. I'm getting like a lot of strange ones, like Lillian or Lottie, or let's see.
I also want something that you can just say and feel cursed in some manner. That it will just
Charlotte. I'm trying to say it with a harsh accent. Amelia. Agnes. Agatha.
Look, Agatha is one that ends up being a villain all the time. Otherwise, I would totally use it.
It's funny because when I think of Agatha, I think of the Twilight Princess bug keeper girl who I had to go find golden bugs for.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's it. That's when. So she's not evil. That one, Felicity.
Ernestine.
Yeah.
Ernestine. Lady Ernestine.
Or Rosalind.
Which is if we do that way, like I feel like she was the major debutante of her, and that's why she's her
major drama queen. Yeah,
Rosalind. Lady Rosalind.
Rosalind influences Grayson. Oh, it fits so well. To reject his mother, and breaks a large amount of magic when he takes the pelt to England.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and then Elizabeth is the daughter, so that makes sense. Grayson and Elizabeth sounds perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who does Elizabeth marry?
So this is someone who's going to be like an American Bostonian person, right? Like,
yeah,
marries into a good family. So,
but just a little eccentric because
yeah, yeah. Elijah or Benjamin or something like Mr. Lucas, Mr. Oliver, Elizabeth and Oliver.
Oh, I do like that. I do like Elizabeth. Oliver, her husband's name is Oliver. Not Twist because. All right, then I think we need to lean and the widower.
And it also the widower. Oh. Should it be like a really generic boy's name? Like Teddy. She calls him Teddy, but his name is Theodore. Or like a Jack.
I think Jack. Teddy.
Or James.
I like Theodore. I like James. Let's make him James.
James.
The widower next door.
James. Jimmy.
Yeah.
My Jimmy James.
Yeah, and she not gonna. All right, so Eileen, and then that's when
for flavor, she's the only one who called him by James, and he usually got addressed by his nickname of Jimmy. This is just for flavor.
Oh, I like this.
I like that.
James' son, and who is that? We need James's son.
So they're going to be like, it's going to be. I think it should be an L name like Luke or Leo, or
Lewis.
The other one I'm thinking is something. Lewis. There we go.
Lewis. It fits the time period, and it's also a person you want to kind of punch. In this case. And then Eileen. All right, so that counts for that. Oh, and the wealthy lover that dies in the flood.
Carter.
Oh, I like that one.
Elias.
What about Carter? I think Carter works. Carter.
Yeah, I think Carter sounds. The child's name. Does the kid need a name?
Let's not give them a name.
It doesn't have to. Yeah, because they died young.
I think we need a name for the son's descendant, though.
Okay.
What about Marion?
Marion is good. The other one I was gonna say was Jameson.
Oh.
Because that still feels very English.
Which one?
Is it though? I don't actually know. That's not quite. Yeah, let's go with I
mean, it was like,
because he's coming from overseas, I think.
Yeah, she is, right? Like she's very English.
Mm-hmm.
Amina?
Sophia.
Amina?
Let's do it.
Amina? I like Amina. Amina, well, no, because it's a little too early for Amina.
Freya. No, I'm kidding.
Let's
see. I'm constantly just pulling up like baby name
yeah.
websites.
Is her what do we
Avery.
Avery or
Avery is fun. Or May or Hazel.
I like Hazel.
I'm Daisy.
I like Hazel.
Hazel's good.
Hazel makes sense. And then I think that's everybody. Well, because we already gave him a name. He's back to being Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I believe.
I love it. I think we did it.
We did do it. We did do it.
By golly. I think we wrote a trashy romance novel.
Yes, as
a generational romance novel.
Ended up being what this family is. Just how low those rolls are. How low can you go?
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for being here.
It's fun to roll poorly.
Sometimes.
Oh my god, I've had so much fun.
This is one of my favorite things to do, and I love every minute of it.
It's really, really good. This has been really good.
I'm glad you had fun. But you need to tell.
Can I run through?
Go right
summary.
Ahead. Yeah, go right ahead. Do
real fast. I'm gonna let's rerun through the summary. All right. So, Elaine, originally coming from Ireland, she moves into Boston around the time of 1774, where she receives her the first treachery of her British officer. After marrying her British officer Daniel, she experiences the first treachery as he dies in a tragic boating accident, and her family blames her. In 1789, Grayson, her son from the love of her life, Daniel, takes the Pounce back to England off of the machinations of Lady Rosalind, influencing Grayson to reject his mother and breaking the family of magic, influence, people, power, land, and reputation. Eventually, Elizabeth's daughter, who remained with her, ages into the age of 30, 31, and the negotiations and reputation that Eileen had managed to regain is used to try to salvage her daughter and brings her a little bit more joy into her. And she ends up marrying a man named Oliver. Then from 1861 to 1865, there was a rebuilding of infrastructure and of a little bit of peace in her life as Eileen ends up befriending the neighboring widower, James, and he dies next door, leaving her his property. She begins to sell lace from her home, and manages to increase it into a small storefront and bonds with a few of the employees, hiring orphans to make sure that they can be the family that she has lost and that she can genuinely understand them because of her loss. But in 1864, she experiences a deep defeat as Eileen finds out that her love, that James had loved her. He left her everything and said nothing about it. But he was always planning on coming back and finally proclaiming and making her into the honest woman that he always had wanted her to be. However, James's son Lewis challenges the will, and Eileen loses in court after meeting Mikey, the demonic lawyer that she recognizes as a demon. They manage to come to an agreement that will not harm her reputation as she concedes to the defeat, and Mikey's reputation only excels. In 1893, there is an invasion and a revolt as the labor strikes, and the Pinkerton response caused the destruction of her lace store that she had worked so hard to build up, losing several of her adopted children and employees at the same time. In 1914 to 1918, she experiences another catastrophe after living quietly. The quietness of her life builds up, and she begins to have public affairs as apathy runs through her, and she has a child out of wedlock with a wealthy, married man, Carter. And the father dies in a molasses flood as the child dies in the Spanish flu, all over the course of 4 years. And these next 10 years are a blur to her as she returns to her eccentricities when her son's descendant, Hazel, brings the pelt back from England. Eileen embraces the sea again, neglecting companions she had once made as her her granddaughter, great, as Hazel encourages her to move to Savannah, where they can start a new life away from this terrible reputation and begin again. Hazel discovers more silky traits. Hazel discovered the silky traits when she was in England and finds the pelt and diary explaining exactly what it is. But once again, in those 20 years, in 1941, she experiences another personal treachery and tragedy as Hazel was writing letters to a soldier, gets engaged and passes on. The silky Eileen looks exactly like the descendant. She takes the descendant's place and accepts the proposal from the soldier Daniel, who comes back, and they make their home anew in Savannah. That's it. That's where she is. It's very exciting. How much fun is this? This is such a fun little, like, dun 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 dun.
And now the game begins, and we find out what happens next.
Yay!
It's just we'll see what happens.
Who knows?
Oh no! All right. So
that was so much fun. I loved all of this.
Thank you for being
here. Thank you for having me.
Always, always. Why don't you tell the people on the internets where you can be found and do the shilly stuff?
Hello-ski. If you want to find me on Twitter, I am at Elaine Ryan Artist, I think. Or is it art? It's art on Twitter because it doesn't let me go into full artist. It's Elaine Ryan Artist on Instagram, and it's ElaineRyanArt.com for my portfolio website. And I'm also Ella Makes Art on Twitch.
And this beautiful art right here. This beautiful, beautiful art that Elaine did is currently covering my face. You should appreciate her beautiful art and hire her to do stuff. Fabulous.
Hire me to do stuff.
Yes.
I will accept that. Thank you.
And occasionally catch her on, follow her on Twitch so that I'm gonna make it easy. I'm gonna do a thing and make it easy for you to all follow her on Twitch.
Should you like to? Once I am in a place where the internet is good, I was honestly planning on like changing everything and trying to do more.
Trying to do more
on Twitch.
Yeah. But just follow her so that you know when she goes live and does one of her art streams, which are great to hang out in and just be chill, and they're great.
They are very chill. That is the right way to describe them. And oftentimes I like to take suggestions from the audience and make them as strange as possible. So
they're great. I support all of this. But follow Elaine. As for me, hey, you know who I am. At Dirgedolan on Twitter, or Praxabor Thesmophoria over on Twitch, or Prax the Bard over on Hive. And I will be back to do another one of these tomorrow with another special guest. Can I let them know who the special guest is?
You should let them know who the special guest is, because I want to know.
The wonderfully fabulous Eugenio DM Jazzy Hands is going to come and help me make a new house to go into this game. This wonderful fun times.
I love it.
It'll be great. It'll be chaotic and fun and dramatic, but it will be great. And then I'll be back here Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, for the start of the final 3 episodes of A Song of Agapia's Fortune, Season 2. They are climbing a mountain, and there's a lich that they have to go meet. But in the way, there might possibly be a spectral dragon and a spectral death knight riding said dragon. They're in the middle of a fight. We gotta come back and figure out how that fight's gonna end. If you missed out, you want to catch out on everything on that. Hi, I have a YouTube. It exists. You can go follow over there, and I put all of the VODs, like this one, which will go up on YouTube, and there are nice little playlists to make life easy.
Yay.
And then Sunday, the final 3 episodes of Witcher Roads Home in the final season. There's a siege, there's the wild hunt, there's the possibility of somebody dying, and there's bonding in the desert between a druid and a mage.
Who doesn't want bonding in the desert between a druid and a mage?
maybe possibly this mage, particularly if you follow the merch that I put up. Like, I added one new one for I Survived the Lord Math experience. I think Kadarin might, depending on how this bonding in the desert might go, might need that t-shirt. But other than that, exactly. Other than that, post my Twitter because I was oh, and Monday. Is Monday we are back with on Wandering DM for Vampire by Night, Vampire the Masquerade, Montreal by Night. And nothing in the world is the Ravnos' fault. Everything that has currently gone wrong, not the Ravnos' fault. Future problems are not the Ravnos' fault either. Yet. We'll find out what happens. But check me out over there at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Wandering DM. And then, but follow me on Twitter because I post where I'm going to be and the fun, wonderful, fabulous folks like this person that I get to hang out with. Yeah. And then, as Simon says, everything is Lucky's fault. Well, I mean, you're not wrong. It could also possibly be a little bit of Artie's fault. Generally, but it's not Florrie's fault. It's definitely not Florrie's fault. She hasn't done anything. She's just been cleaning up everybody else's mess. Literally. And then, but that's it. Thank you for being here, Elaine.
Oh my gosh, it was so my pleasure. Thanks for co-writing a little romance drama with me. That was so much fun.
I'm here for it. Have all the fun with all of the romance and all the drama. And all of the horribly statistically bad rolls. Like, statistically, this should not have happened. The fact that you managed to get all of these. But we should go raid someone and send some love out into the universe because the universe is vast and cool. Oh, we should go raid into Eugenio because he is playing some Wild Frost today, and they are Eugenio will be here tomorrow, so we're gonna go raid into there. Have fun, everybody. Until I see you tomorrow.
Big love. Be nice to my NPC.
Or not. We'll find out.
Or don't. She's been through a lot, so she might also just not be nice too. All right.